Okay, just wanted to do a quick video here showing the Ruger Gunsite Scout in a disassembled state. Whenever I buy a new rifle, I like to, or handgun for that matter, I like to pull it down, clean all the heavy machining oil off of everything. I've got it pretty well wiped down. It's still got stuff kind of leaching out of all the different pinholes and such, but a lot cleaner than it was. Okay, this is just from what I understand, it's a kind of a modified, or maybe it's not, I don't know. I haven't had a Ruger M77 since my Ruger Frontier, and that's been a few years ago when I sold it. But I think it's a pretty standard M77 action from Ruger. Made it to what starts off as a heavy contour, and it's a stepped down to a kind of a medium contour. This is definitely a heavier barrel here than the Frontier had. Of course, the thing that makes it stand out as a scout rifle is the forward-mounted Picatinny rail. Looks like it's held on by 4 Allen screws. I have no intentions of taking that loose. Excuse me. Unless, of course, unless I see it working itself loose, then I'll pull it down and put some Loctite on it. Let's see. Pretty standard Ruger trigger configuration there. Of course, you got your safety lever, and that rotates the cam here. That's off safe, so the trigger can go back. That's half safe, where it'll go ahead and block the trigger, and full safe, which locks the bolt in place. Recoil lug, bolt release, and of course it's got the Ruger Gunsite Scout logo. I don't know if my crappy camera will pick that up. The front sight post is pinned on right there, and seems to be it is metal. Seems to be pretty stout. One thing I noticed that might bother some people is the flash hider, which is removable, is not indexed. So in other words, they didn't go to the trouble of trying to make sure that the lugs here for loosening were lined up in any sort of fashion. It's just they just put it on and tightened it up. I don't care. That might bother some people. Just figured I'd throw it in there. Let's see. Do have an escape port here in case of a case failure. There's just one on this side. Anyway, that's the barrel and the action. Here's the trigger guard and the magwell. Not real crazy that this is all plastic, but hopefully that'll hold up pretty good. I would prefer metal. There are a few things on this gun I would have done differently if I had the chance to, if I were the guy designing it and making the decisions. 10-round magazine. It's marked. Yeah, it probably won't pick it up. It's marked accurate mag. I don't know much about them. And of course, let's see if I can do this one-handed. There's your magazine, magwell, and trigger guard. Removable rear sight. It is adjustable for windage and elevation. It's just got a couple of Allen screws for windage, and it appears that the elevation, you just unscrew it and it comes up higher, held in with one screw. It just kind of caps over the groove here on the receiver. Bolt, of course, the Mauser style Ruger bolt. Nothing major to see here. The stock, like I showed in the other video, and like you've seen, it does have the spacers that you can add or remove to change the length of pull on the rifle. So far I like it with one spacer installed, and this is the base plate. This is what actually screws into the butt plate there with the two wood screws, and then the actual recoil pad screws into these two little inserts here in the plastic. Not a super robust design, but I don't see that it would have any problem. Of course, those disappear down into the rubber once they're tight. The only reason I took this off is it kind of felt when I pulled the stock apart that there might be some ballast in the back, but there isn't. Yeah, there's no way I can turn this so you can see it. But anyway, woo. The action is held in. Let's see. Trying to remember which is which here. Well, honestly, I don't know what that screw actually holds in, because it just goes through the wood. I just noticed that. I believe it's the longer of the two. Maybe it must provide a little, I don't know. Maybe it pulls the stock together or something. It doesn't seem to actually hold anything. The action is basically held in by these two screws. This is the part that fits on the bottom of the recoil lug and screws into the recoil lug. And then of course there's one, wherever I put it, I guess it's this one here, that holds the trigger guard, kind of sandwiches it to the back of the receiver here, and just barely in shot. Now the one gripe I have about the stock is, I mean, unless it was going to be a kid shooting this thing, I don't see where anybody would ever remove all the spacers, because that would be a very short length of pull. I would have rather they maybe just left the stock about a, whatever that is, 3/4 of an inch longer, and then provided spacers to lengthen it out a little bit more. I would rather that going, straight to wood, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. And I'll probably just run it with the one spacer. Feels pretty good that way. But that's it. Not much to it. Still got a little bit of oil. But I guess, that's sort of the concept, is a nice, simple, relatively lightweight rifle. Rather than having something complicated in a semi-auto, sleek and lightweight, not many parts to fail, good reliable action in a carbine configuration. And yeah, I would prefer this to be a metal assembly here. We'll see how it holds up, and hey, aftermarket, I wouldn't be opposed to paying a little money to get a metal trigger guard and magwell, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So that's the breakdown. That's what they look like when they're all torn apart, and hopefully I'll have some range videos soon. See you in the next one.